Financial freedom, yeah, that's the goal. Invest your time, invest your soul. Save it, stack it, watch it grow. Generational wealth, Coach Flow.
I want to welcome everyone to a new episode of Generation Investors Podcast. And today we're talking AI. Today we're talking data centers. And I want to leave you with some motivation. Stay tuned towards the end because I've been really thinking about how can this podcast motivate you? How can this inspire you? And if I have been inspiring you, if I have been motivating you, hit that thumbs up, hit that like, hit the subscribe, and we're not wasting no other time. SPMO. When I say SPMO has the momentum, it's the best momentum. I consider the best momentum ETF. And for all my new investors, if you are a new investor or you thinking about investing in the stock market, SPMO, write that down. SPMO. If you don't have a pen and paper, you might want to get a pen and paper for this particular segment because I really want you guys to start to make your money start working for you. I've talked with other friends, other coworkers, and it's a lot of people who are really interested in investing, but they don't know how. They don't know where to start. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is get Robinhood. Download Robinhood, whether you got an iPhone or you got an Android. Put your information in Robinhood after you have signed up. It's going to ask you all these questions to see if you are a real person. Okay. Don't be afraid. Don't let fear stop you from making money. Okay. And so once you do that, then you can fund your account. Most of these apps like Robinhood, like I have Robinhood, $1 will get you in the game. $1. That's what you call fractional share. And so you can take that $1 and buy you some SPMO. Like I said, SPMO is the best ETF. That's the best momentum play. That's why I continue to buy this for myself and my son. Because SPMO have individual stocks like Nvidia, AMD, Micron. If you ain't been paying attention to Micron has been knocking the ball out the park. This past week, earnings did well for Micron. So you got a percentage of Micron. You got Google, Intel. All these individual stocks are in SPMO. That's why I will continue to buy some more because long term, definitely looking to continue to build up positions after positions after positions, because we're talking about life-changing money being made just with SPMO. I haven't got some other plays, but SPMO, that one right there, that is how you want to get started. Started with ETFs. Let's move on to another hot ETF, DRAM. DRAM is full of memory, full of chips, okay? Memory and chip ETF. This sector right here, back to Micron, has percentage of Micron, it has percentage of SanDisk, and other plays that are also in the memory chip making business. DRAM has been killing it as well. That's why I will continue to buy. When these plays dip, we're talking about buying some more, okay? You can DCA, which is dollar cost average. So you say, Coach Flo, I don't have much money with all these bills and have rent, you have mortgage, you have groceries, you have gas, whatever you have left over, you can start with, like I said, $5. You can start with $10. Start fractional sharing, and then over time, you will have that one share of whatever stock that you want, whatever ETF that you want. But the main thing is just to start. So DRAM is definitely another heavy, hot banger that is killing my portfolio. And let's move on to the king of AI, Nvidia. I've said in previous segments how much I'm excited for Nvidia because Nvidia has been dipping. Why has been dipping? Because they want us to continue to pick up these stocks at low prices. Nvidia is at a discount right now. If you look at what analysts are saying, analysts is saying this is the potential to a 3 to 350 stock right here. I'm talking about price target for those wondering, like, what am I talking about? I'm talking about analysts are saying this can shoot to 3 to 350 in the next 12 months. And it still has room to go past 350 because when I say how bullish I am for Nvidia? I'll give you a reason. Number one company in the world. Number two, the driver of the GPUs, CPUs, data center, the man is continue to skyrocket. That's what it's doing. And not to mention the leader of the supercomputers. They have so many things in store for the next 5 to 10 years. That's right, 5 to 10 years, that when it comes to these chips, when it comes to these GPUs, graphic processing units, talking about CPUs, talking about data centers, will continue to populate across the state and the world. Nvidia will be the number one play that you should have got in, because when I say money gonna start trickling in, millions and billions of dollars gonna start to trickle in AI in general, and Nvidia will be like it's doing right now. This is just a small sample size of what Nvidia will do, but for all these partnerships that's being formed, because most of these other companies like Apple, which I'm gonna get to, which like Google, Microsoft, all these other companies will use the data centers from Nvidia, will use the supercomputers from Nvidia, will use the chips from Nvidia. So they're going to like basically from a partnership to just cross partnerships and just cross interchangeable when it comes to, okay, I'm gonna use this, you're gonna use mine, and basically they're all gonna work together, and that's where the money will be going. Okay, so let's talk about Apple, because speaking of Apple, I know half the world pretty much has an iPhone. If they don't have an iPhone, they got AirPods, they got iTunes, they got a Mac Pro, MacBook, Apple Pay. Apple got its own Apple ecosystem. That's just hands down. They got enough money for decades. They got enough money to last for generations, because this one right here, when I say they reinvest into their company, they reinvest in their company. And so Apple will partner with Nvidia, just like I just said, to run Apple foundation models on cloud. So they already got things planned for later on this year. So Apple and Nvidia, that's a no-brainer. That's like one of my, probably when I look at my portfolio, when it comes to individual stocks, Nvidia and Apple are pretty much my 1 and 2 when it comes to how much money I got invested into these companies. And then everything else, the Googles, the Microsofts, the Metas, goes down the totem pole. But Nvidia and Apple I have a lot of money invested into those companies, because ultimately that's where the money gonna flow. That's where the money is going anyway, is going towards artificial intelligence. Speaking of Apple, Apple rebrands Siri as Siri AI. Okay, this is the improvement to make it more capable, assistant, and understand personal context. So they already got things slanted for the next wave of iPhones, which is slanted to come out later on this fall. If there's no delays, I will keep you updated, but I am so bullish on Apple, just like I'm bullish on Nvidia. Money making plays that if you got these particular devices and products, it's not financial advice, but if I were you, I would start investing in these companies, because they're making money off of you anyway, whether you like it or not. So, which brings me to, I know for those who kind of eerie about crypto, I will continue to buy Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin is the digital gold. This is the king of crypto. So if you don't care about any other cryptos, they say, analysts have said that you should at least have about 5% of money tied into some type of crypto, and Bitcoin is the one. Okay, Bitcoin is definitely the one to continue to just research. But for me, I see crypto as the next big thing besides artificial intelligence. I see crypto doing some great things in the next few years. That's why I will continue to hold, store, get it off these exchanges, because these exchanges have so many crashes. They have so many scams out there with crypto. Get you a ledger and put that on a ledger and just store it. That's what I will continue to do for me. Like I said, you got to do what's best for you. But that, when I say Bitcoin got some moves to make these next few years, I believe ultimately it will shoot up because so much money is being like thrust into the crypto space. And it also has its own way of tying into artificial intelligence. Okay, so you have one sector as artificial intelligence, one sector as crypto, and they also have money being transferred left and right. That's all money does. So speaking to, if you got to this point, I want to give a shout out to Generational Investor Shop. I will leave a link in the description below. I'm looking to really ramp up my products. There are so many products to choose from on the shop, where we talking about faith and finance, talking about mental health, talking about trades for those looking to start their trade, side hustle, investing, credit card information, how to get out of debt. All that is in Generational Investor Shop. So I'm gonna leave that in the description below. And definitely you gotta stay tuned towards this part. I want to encourage everybody. Follow the money. Follow the money. God first, as always, but read, research, look for what is in demand, what is really driving our economy. And when I say what's driving our economy, artificial intelligence, data centers, semiconductors, all these chips, that's in demand and will continue to be in demand because a lot of money is flowing into these industries. So follow the money. You might have your friends, you might have your family, you might have Uncle Pookie, you might have your cousins, all these individuals having these voices and saying this and saying that. If you really want to know where the money is going, you better follow that money. Follow the money. These companies going to tell you where the money is going. These CEOs going to tell you where the money is going. Check out CNBC. That's my news. I don't really watch the local news. CNBC is going to tell you everything you really want to know. Now, we know that news has its own bias, but when it comes to stock market, when it comes to economics, CNBC, that's where I get my information from. And it's pretty much has been on par when it comes to Google, when it comes to Nvidia, when it comes to Apple, when it comes to Microsoft, Meta. Follow the money. I'm going to say it again. That's where the money will be made. If you follow the money, whether that's you research, like I said, God first, as always. He's going to give you the information, but he's also giving you different opportunities, and he's giving you this information from these news outlets like CNBC. He's giving you really the blueprint. When it comes to the blueprint, this information right here, stocks, these companies that's tied to AI, that's where the money is going. Okay, so follow the money. Number 2, save for a rainy day. Because of this volatility in our society, in our economy, with these layoffs, with these furloughs, with these cutbacks, budget cuts, save up for a rainy day because seasons do change. Seasons changes all the time. You might be up one day, in the next few months, they didn't cut back. They didn't lay you off. They didn't give you a furlough package. In this economy, things are so fickle. Businesses are so fickle. Companies are so fickle. Save up. So if you got a side hustle, if you got a business, a promotion, it's time to save up. It is time to save up. You have any type of extra income coming, and if you have a decent paying job, it's time to set aside a percentage of your paycheck and put that into emergency fund. Build, build, build. The time is now, especially while we're in the summertime. The time is now, which brings me to my last point. It's time to start building systems. Do you have a system? Let me know in the comment. Do you have a system? Do you have a system for your faith? Do you have a system for your family? Do you have a system for your finances? Because all three of those, that's where things are getting out of place. Okay, that's where things are getting out of place. Got to have a system. What does that system looks like? How often are you investing into your spiritual growth? How often are you investing into your family? If you got a wife, if you got a girlfriend, if you got kids, How often are you investing into them? That's what matters the most. When it comes to friendships, if you have many friends, whether you have one or two, how often are you invested into that friendship? And definitely when it comes to finances, what's the systems like? Where's your money going? All that things to consider. When it comes to your mental health, when it comes to your emotional health, what systems do you have in play? Are you working out? Are you eating right? Are you stressing less? Are you around people who's going to build you up and challenge you? Who's going to correct you when you're out of place, when you're out of pocket? Are they going to be a yes man or a yes woman? Okay. So do you have a system? Because that's where transformation happens. That's where growth happens. That's where really God will elevate you to another level, not even a certain level. I'm talking about another level. And if you're looking to go to the next level, hit that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, because I got more in store, just like God has more in store for you. See you in the next one. Peace.
Financial freedom, yeah, that's the goal. Invest your time, invest your soul. Save it, stack it, watch it grow. Generational wealth, coach flow. Financial freedom, let's get control. Build it now so it overflow. Learning